Hey everybody, welcome to the Bearded Guy Podcast channel. I'm your host, Scott Winters. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to stop by and give this video a quick watch. Today we're going to be talking about audio. Audio is very critical when you're doing a live stream, or in my case, when you do podcasts. Now, I do have a podcast on Anchor.fm. It's the Bearded Guy Podcast. We talk about the paranormal, the odd, the strange, the things that just don't fit into everyday reality. But audio is so critical to the things that we do as creators. Without good audio, people are not going to watch your videos or they're not going to listen to your podcast. Audio is so critical, even more so, I say, than the video. Your video could be subpar for anybody to watch, but if they can't hear you, it's going to turn them away from whatever it is you're trying to put out there. Now, today, we're going to talk about the use of dynamic microphones. Now, I use dynamic microphones because, you know, the pattern that they put out, it cancels out a lot of noise behind them. And, of course, some higher-end dynamic microphones would do a lot better job than what I have, which I used a very inexpensive Behringer XM8500. Now, I love this mic. I love the way it sounds. I love the way when I run it through my board, the EQ that I put on it, the compression, and other little things that I tweak. The way this mic sounds to me is great. It's phenomenal. And some people would disagree with that. Of course, there are audiophiles, of course, who would say that these are subpar. But, you know, if you're trying to do this on a budget and you're trying to do some things in an inexpensive fashion, these are great choices that you could have for starting a podcast or even using in a live stream setup. Because, again, they're good microphones. They just need some help to get them across that line to make them that wow. So I started looking, what can I do to up the audio quality of my podcast and my live streams? And it got me on the quest to look at other microphones. And I started saying, do I need this mic? Do I need that mic? Do I need to spend $400 on a Shure SM7B, which is the gold standard from what I understand? You know, right now that's out of my price range. So I'm thinking, what can I do that's inexpensive? It might cost me a little bit of money, but not to the extent of $400 for a brand new mic setup, which is still going to require some additional equipment to make it sound good because those mics are very gain hungry. So that led me on a quest to find something to actually make my mics sound the best that they can be. Now, one of the things that I did come across was the inline preamps. More specifically, the SE Electronics DM1 Dynamite. Now, the reviews that I saw on YouTube and the audio tests that I saw were phenomenal. The actual change in audio just blew my mind listening to the sound differences that it made to a microphone. Now, these were high-end microphones. But I looked for one that was using the DM1 with an inexpensive mic like this, the Behringer XM8500, and I couldn't find one. So I said, you know what? I'll do my own video review to see the sound difference. Now, right now, the way I have this set up, my mic is going into my Zoom H4n recorder, and my gain is set at about 95%, which is putting me somewhere in the neighborhood between -12 and -6 dB, which is good. That gives me plenty of headroom to work with when I actually put the software or put the audio into the software to clean it up and make it usable for my podcast whenever I do an episode there. And, of course, running through my mixer is what I do mainly for this microphone when I'm doing a live stream. But I wanted to see, would this actually make a difference with the Behringer XM8500? So let's listen to some examples of the mic with and without the preamp. Okay, so I put on my headphones now so I can actually hear the audio signal that's coming through the Zoom H4n to make sure that I'm not clipping or blowing this thing out because the last thing I want is for the audio to be unusable. Okay, so we're going to do some examples of the Behringer XM8500 into the Zoom H4n with no inline preamp, no effects or EQing. This is a straight into the recorder signal. So just to give you an idea of how it sounds before and after we actually use the DM1. Now I'm going to be quiet for a second and let you hear some of the noise that's introduced into this recording due to the fact that the gain is set to 95% on the recorder. Now, you may not be able to hear that, through the video unless you're wearing headphones, but in my headphones, it's very clear. It's just a white static noise is what it is. And that's because the gain is set to a very high level. But it's set to a very high level for a specific reason, to give the microphone enough juice to actually make a decent recording. Now, this is what happens on my mixer as well. I have to set the gain above 60%, and then, set the actual channel itself to a decent level to actually get the mic to actually pick up as well as it does. And again, you can clean up a lot of that when you go into your recording software. You can take a lot of the little anomalies that come from, one, being in an untreated room like I am, and two, just because the gain is so high. Now we're going to stop this video, and I'm going to attach the SE Electronics DM1 and see the difference that it makes. Okay, so now I have the DM1 hooked up to my Behringer microphone, running into my Zoom H4n, and I had to turn on the phantom power to actually turn the inline preamp on. Now, the thing that I noticed, as soon as I turned on the phantom power, I had to roll my gain off excessively. My gain went from 95% down to 10% is where I'm at now, giving me the same -12 to -6 dB. The sound difference is phenomenal in my headphones. I don't know if you can hear the difference there on the video unless you're actually wearing headphones. This has made such a difference in the way this microphone sounds. So now I'm going to let you hear the noise, if you will, the self-noise, see if it's the same as it was without the DM1 attached to the microphone. So let's take a listen. I have to say, I am very impressed with this product. Now, of course, this will run you about $99 if you're really into your audio and you want it to be the best that it can be. So I think this was $99 well spent. Now, there is other products out there. There are other products out there, rather. There's the Cloud Lifter. There's the Fethead. There's a different thing for everybody's taste and everybody's personal preference. For me, I think this was well spent. I'm so glad that I picked this up. I'm glad that I actually saw some reviews of this on YouTube. And again, the reason that I wanted to buy it was to see if it would actually work with an inexpensive microphone like the Behringer XM8500. And to be honest with you, I am well impressed with this product. Now, I do want to try some different things and see if it'll actually work further down in the chain. With a little patch cable here, so I can kind of, because it does really extend the length of the microphone excessively. And I want to make sure that, again, I don't hit it, bump it, do anything like that, and damage the pins that are inside my mic or inside of the DM1 itself. But again, if you're looking to up your audio with an inexpensive dynamic microphone, I don't think you can go wrong with this product. I am really impressed with it. And I plan on trying it with my mixer here in just a little bit, just to see, what kind of quality I can get from this mic through my mixer with the EQ and compression and different things that I'm going to try with that. So, again, for my money, I think this is money well spent, and I am so glad that I purchased this. So there you have it. That's my quick little comparison test with the SE Electronics DM1 and a Behringer XM8500 with and without. I hope you enjoyed the little test. I did. I'm really impressed with it. I can't say enough good things about this product. And, again, you have to use phantom power with it. So if you're using a field recorder, of course, it does supply phantom power. That's going to, really drain your battery life a lot quicker. So just keep that in mind if you're going to buy and use this product. But again, I can't say enough good things about it. And it's great. The sound difference in my ears right now is just night and day from where this actually was before and the recordings that I've made with it without the inline preamp. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming by. Hey, check out my podcast on anchor.fm. It's called the Bearded Guy Podcast. We talk about all the weird and odd stuff that goes on there in the world that we live in. And come by and check out some of the live streams we do. We usually have a good time. We get a bunch of people in, and the conversation just gets going, and we have such a good time with that. And the group that usually comes on with me, they're a welcoming group. So don't be afraid to jump in, put in some comments. We hope to see you there on the next live stream we have. Check out the podcast. I hope you have a great day. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. And until next time.